Great risings, YouTube. Great risings, Facebook. Give me a minute. Ooh, we did it, y'all. We did it. Y'all, come on for the walk now. Come on for the walk. Let me warm Betsy up. Come on for the walk. Sit down and kick your feet. Lift weights. Elderly people welcome and wanted. Let's see. Hey, y'all. Okay, YouTube camera is good, but it's not held up with rubber bands. The Facebook camera is rubber band ready. And that's why we have these issues. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. Okay. I think that straightened the whole thing out. Come on for the walk, y'all. Bring your weights, kick your feet. You gotta do something. We want old, seniors, elders. Oh, man. Camera ain't giving this morning. Camera ain't giving. Here we go. Guess it's as good as it's gonna give. Great rises. Great rises in your life, in your home, in your business, in your career. Whatever it is that you want in this life, may it come true for you. May it manifest for you according to your measurements and what you want. Remember, manifestation, you got to be very specific. So, slow it down a little bit more. So be very specific to the manifestation. Y'all come on for the walk. Sit down, kick your feet. You got 30 minutes to work out, and it goes by so quickly. So fast. And I'm Vicky, but for y'all, I'll be y'all Paul. Paul used to be my Planet Fitness workout. Hey, great rise in Canada, in your business, in your home, in your health. When I look back at these videos, I downloaded to what they call it, a portable or extended memory and passport memory. And so I look at all the old videos, and I tell you, in the wintertime we move fast. In the summertime we don't. You know what I don't like? I'm going to work on the lights here. Alright, here we go. Back in business, because it's hot, y'all. Hot lights. But I love this cotton. It's like a long sleeve turtleneck undershirt for me. It breathes and it gives. It is wonderful. I got 3 of them. I guess you already know that, right? And squeeze your gut, which we said one time. Squeeze your gut. We walk fast. But that'll be back on in September. Right now, we're just walking through the walk, strolling. I guess a lot of y'all can even put on your headsets if you wanted to. You can put on your headphones if that's what you want. And just, I think in the gym, what gets you motivated is watching other people moving. Hey, great rises to everyone. Facebook friends, YouTube friends. YouTube, y'all hit that subscribe button at the bottom. Just click it so when I come on, I can get you. Sometimes what I say make me lose a few people, but hopefully I gain a few people too. Send a link to your grannies and your aunties and stuff that you're sick of running this back and forth to the doctor with, and now sitting there all day long, and you realize there ain't no movement. Get the link, hit the link for the old person, throw on the headphones, put a weight in their hand, or tell them to kick their feet. You got a half hour to work out. And for us, that is plenty. Plenty, 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 plenty for us. I'm still doing my Chinese people stomach thing. I guess I don't know think you can see it here. And then I'm following this I don't know, she's either Pakistani. I think she's Pakistani. And she goes around, and she's a young girl, she's funny. I'm a poster. And she goes around trying all these core tightening things that's on YouTube. And she has this one that we used to do. We did it all winter when we started in January. Remember, squeeze your gut, squeeze your gut, squeeze your gut? That's what she does. She finds all these things to squeeze the gut. And I was like, we spent all winter squeezing our gut. Oh my goodness. Child, it's hot. It's hot out there. There's a line from my Playwood. Child, is hot today. I love when that actress said it. When she said, "Oh, it's hot out there today," and she had her little tissue. Oh, I had a great director, Mariana Loosemore. Great director. And she so believed in me. And she had like a master's degree from Harvard. She and I connected at the Henry Street Settlement in New York City. And I couldn't believe when I called her and asked her if she would direct my play. And then when I called her and asked her again for the next play, and then the next play, she kept saying, "You're so prolific." I didn't know. And she would do that. And then I did my shorts, my 10-minute shorts. And she would direct it. She had a blast. She taught, because a lot of them were new actors. I had to pay a couple of professionals. But mostly, these were new actresses and actors. And they were in acting classes and stuff like that. And I was able to manifest them to come. I passed for 5 years. So, and Mariana Loosemore was with me the whole time. And then I just went broke producing plays. I just realized that something started saying, okay, they don't call Broadway the Great White Way for nothing. And after kicking at the Great White Way door and running back and forth and sending my plays to all these place houses, because I just wouldn't accept the concept of the Great White Way. I was like, no, they were fair. Hold on, y'all. I was looking at my water, and I was like, Chica Bulabika, you did not bring your water. Because y'all know old people, we supposed to be drinking water, almost mainlining. We got enough pads and different things like that. Pad yourself up. Drink your water. Don't change them and put them in the garbage. But don't not drink water because you don't want to pee. Ridiculous. Then everything is drying up beside you. I mean, it's going to dry up anyway. But you know what I mean. So, I didn't know. I mean, and then I would send the play for things. I would get this, what is it called? The theater source book. And that's where you find out where all the theaters are and the theater directors and the play groups and the funding and stuff like that. And I live by that. Every year I would get the new edition that came out. I would tap into new theaters and oh my goodness. You know, so I started producing it myself and booking theaters and getting the backers and all kind of stuff. Every piece of jewelry I ever had, I pawned to keep my plays going. Anything I had that I could sell so I could keep my plays up. And I wasn't paying the cast, but I could give them transportation money every now and then. And then I had to rent the place and run back and forth from Connecticut to New York and producing the plays. And it was for AIDS education and awareness, because the AIDS epidemic was horrible. But there's only certain people who could. I wasn't gay, so none of the gay organizations would support me because I wasn't gay. I didn't have AIDS, so none of the AIDS organization would sponsor me. I didn't have HIV, so AIDS, HIV organizations wouldn't sponsor me. I finally made a link to this group called Brothers and Sisters United for Change. They had just come back from the Million Man March, and the man, Michael Coleman in Stanford, who got all the buses up and made sure people from Stanford got down to Washington, D.C. On the bus ride back, he said, we got to have a group. And he started this group, and then someone said, this group is starting, and you know how to start groups, and da-da-da-da. And I went over there with them, and I met him at his house quite a few times, sitting down formulating, learning ideas. Then he got us over to the Yearwood Center, and we would meet, Brothers and Sisters United for Change, and that's where we did our bylaws, we did our offices, we did everything and put it in place, and they supported me in producing my play. I tell you, it was something. Well, we did it, and we disseminated AIDS education, and then I said, when every dime I took, I guess like a gambler. You take everything you have and you put it on those rolls of the dice. Every time I produced my play, I felt I was rolling the dice, and there would be some producer, there would be some backer that would see the play and then come after me, and I'm like, you delusional nobody. You delusional nobody. Who is going to come after your play? Who's going to support a play about a strong African American family that adopts a baby that has HIV/AIDS? Who in the Sam Hill is going to back or support that? So, I know I touched a lot of lives, and people were like, great. There's this one incident I can start when I was doing the play. I just shut it down. I think we had done every year we would do 2 or 3 plays. And it was a lot. So then I was just I'm not doing anything. Yeah, I'm getting these counselors. I'm giving out this information. I couldn't even get the adoption agency. Now I'm promoting family adoption, and I couldn't get an adoption agency to support it. And though the hospitals was full of babies with AIDS who wasn't going to get adopted, but I wasn't anybody. Yep, I would send notices and press releases. We do this. We're serious. We're in it to educate people about HIV/AIDS. And they said, black girl, please, if you ain't a celebrity, if you ain't a politician, if you don't get away from us. So I had to listen to all these adoption agencies that turned me down. So I was like, you know what? It's for someone else to do. So I closed down the play. And then one night I'm laying there I get this phone call from one of the actors that was in the play. And she's crying. I'm not understanding why she'd be calling me crying. We weren't that close. I was the executive producer and she was the actor. Okay, she called me. So, she was crying because her sister had just been diagnosed with full-blown AIDS. And the sister went to church and she confessed, in, like a testimony, that she had HIV/AIDS. And she cleared the church because they didn't know anything about AIDS then. The folks started leaving the church. She was so upset. So upset. She said, but because the play is set on Christmas. On Christmas in the play, oh, we're at 15 minutes already. Look how fast that walk is. If y'all had clicked and let an old person look at it, they'd have been kicking their feet, pumping their arms, even doing this. This is what the Chinese man said. You do to help with your arms. First 15 minutes of this book, of this walk is brought to you by, I like to say yes. Keep the word yes in your child's vocabulary by reading I like to say yes to your child. The best thing I like about this book, do you love mommy? Yes. Y'all ain't teach y'all kids to love you. You ain't say, yeah, I mean, you teach them language, but you don't say, I love you, mommy. I taught my daughter, I love you, mom. I said, I love you, Dad. And she said, I love you. I said, I love you, mommy. She said, yeah, I love you, mommy. I said, okay. Ooh, let's get a little water, y'all. Always drink water, y'all. Pad yourself up. They even got pad stuff for men, too. But if you walk and exercise enough, you kind of have to keep halfway good control of your bladder. But some things are just age, and it happens because we're matter and energy, and that's what happens to us. We're big matter and energy. They call us mammals. But okay, so she calls me on the phone. Let's get back to this. So she calls me, and so I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. She said, but we've been going to this church for a long time. And they don't know what AIDS is about. And I was just in this play with you. And you had the AIDS counselors and stuff like that. So I was wondering, I can get us to do the play in our church. You know, would you get the cast and stuff together? And I was like, okay. So, how much time does she have to live? That's what I wanted to know. Because this is like August. And we're a December, like November, December's play. So I wanted to know, is she going to make it until we go up? So she says yes. So casting was really hard because I was like, no, we ain't getting back together. I had like a good crew, but I just couldn't. I couldn't afford it. Anyway. So when this woman called me, I was like, oh. So, I mean, I know it's manifestation now. I didn't know it then. I just pulled it out of somewhere, and I put the cast together. I had a few actresses that I was missing. So I called her and I said, you know, this is really almost becoming impossible because I need like 2 or 3 cast members or something like that. And she said, I think it was the kids' role. And she said, yeah, I have someone that I went to class with. I was like, okay. So then they came in. So we're working and we're putting it together. When I think back on it, when we went to rehearsal for her to do the play in her church. I also booked the Dole Theater in Mount Vernon, New York, to produce the play there as well. So, we're coming up to play date. Maybe a week before, I get this phone call. She's crying again. The sister is dead. We didn't make it to bringing the play in the church. The sister didn't see the play. Sister knew about the play because as we were rehearsing, I was meeting, and they would tell us, say, "Oh, the sister's so excited. She's so glad we're bringing AIDS education to the church." You know, just the whole situation. And how can you go to a church for all these years and you say, "Oh, I've been diagnosed with AIDS," and not only do you halfway empty the church, but church don't want to have nothing to do with you anymore, and you've been going there, and it's like a family church, the whole 9 yards. And the sister dies. So I'm trying to be tactful. I'm sorry your sister's dead, but we do have a play that we have to put on. You booked the church. Now, the two actresses that she got me to fill in for the professionals, I didn't have enough time, and I didn't have any more money to give. I really didn't. To put into it, and though it was AIDS education. At that time, there was this white guy who was getting mad money. I mean, people were throwing money at him. And his thing for AIDS education was to hire a nurse, put plastic down on the floor, and an assembly for school. I couldn't even get in the school. Just forget that, honey. I couldn't get near the schools. With the first play, I changed my play to 3 parts. Christmas was the first part, summertime was the first part, and then Christmas ended it. So it was a 3 part. And he would take this plastic rug, this plastic, and put it on the auditorium stage. He had a nurse there, and he would stand with just barely, stuff covering his private area. And the nurse would throw HIV, AIDS, infected all on him. I mean, blood on him. And his thing was to show you that you cannot get HIV, AIDS just from being next to someone who has AIDS. And everybody kept saying, "Oh, that's dangerous, this. But he had mad money. I kind of aligned myself with this guy from Rent, who basically died getting Rent put up, getting backers and all this stuff for the play Rent. And of course he dies, and since no money goes to him, it all goes to now the profit of the producers on the Great White Way. They got the play up. But he got nothing. He died. That was the frustration from getting stuff up. I wasn't going to go that far. I wasn't going to do the death route. I wasn't. So anyway, we didn't go to the church because her death basically did more harm than good. She said they was kicked out the church. So after she calmed down, she said the reason why she should have communicated with me on the play, but she didn't, was because basically when the sister died, it was like now you and your AIDS-infected family get out the church. So I was like, whoa. So we managed to do it at the Dole Center, but I had to pay an actor $150 to come and hold script. And then a good friend that I knew who was an actress, she came in and she held script for the other part. And wow, that was a eye-opening experience for me, as far as the AIDS virus is concerned, and as far as the theater world is concerned. But yeah, I went on to do it. Well, I produced, let's see, from 97, from 1993 to 1998, I produced the play. Because every time I wanted to stop, someone would say, oh, could you do a play here? But these were like regular people like me. These were like no big time executive producer was calling me saying, oh, Vicky, can you bring the play here? Could you bring the play there? These were people calling me. You know, oh, my so-and-so is infected by AIDS. Do you think you can put the play up? Then I could bring the family. And they would call me and they would say, like, it would be like an introduction to talking about AIDS. Oh, that was my theater time. And I'm so glad it didn't kill me. But I realized that it's the Great White Way. And I had already did the screenplay way. Oh, thousands of dollars printing up scripts and sending it in letters and return envelopes and postage and postage and postage. And if you send the play out, you gotta send in an envelope so you get the play back if you want the play, if you want the screenplay back, if you want anything back, and then if you wanted an agent, then you have to send all this information. You have to send the play out, and then you have to, and they knew as soon as they saw it, they was like, nigga, please. Oh, man. And then I did teen violence deterrent. The premises was, you know, just work with the hand you deal with. It opens up with a doctor, and he's telling how his life was before he became a doctor. You know, being raised by a single mom in the projects. Really good, very interesting, excellent. I did it at the Village Gate, and every time I put it up, and I did it in Bridgeport at the community center, and every time I put it up, people would say, oh my God, you really need to get this play is called Mothers and Sons. You really need to get this play in the school system. And I was like, I already been here. You send the stuff out, you put it in, but it's all politically connected, and it's who you know and who did I know. I didn't know. You know? So, after a while, you say to yourself, it was a good run. You saw your words and everything come to fruition in front of you. These are people speaking. These are characters that was in your head that stand before you, and they use your words, and it all makes sense, and it all comes together, and you say to yourself, wow, there's a lot of people living up here. But then after a while, you say, listen, you can't stop racism. You can't stop. If we had more economic power, yeah, but nobody was leaving property for me because nobody gave my family anything. They didn't say, come from Europe and go up there and take this land and we'll give it to you. We weren't given anything like these white Americans. We worked hard in this country. We didn't get anything, so when we went to produce or do something like that, we didn't have money. That's what that was meant to do by design. So I realized what it is. And then you stop beating your head against the wall, you know? Let's do some fingers. Whew. I keep trying to take off jars without using a dish rag or a towel. I'm going to stop. I just don't know when. I guess when my hand hurts like the devil when I finish. So, I think I should start. You know? I thank y'all for coming on the walk with me. I tell you. And I just talk stuff out, probably walking the line when you got your headsets on. Oh. Sometimes you hold those cell phones. See, stuff is cracking. You hold those cell phones, and you hold those cell phones, and then, let me slow this down a minute. Let me take this. Yep. Hey, y'all grabbing y'all weight. I know I would say, for that 5 minutes we tuck in the gut, but y'all, it is hot. When I'm nuking, I use my nuking time to do my Chinese pelvic thrust. I use my nuking time to do my squeezing in my core. And now tuck your elbow, squeeze in your core. Let's get 15. And one for good luck. Whew. That's it for us. Hey, I didn't get to sing my song, y'all. Whew. Thanks for coming on the walk. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow morning. We'll meet back up here at 7. Thanks so much, YouTube, for walking with me. See you tomorrow.